For a moment, I'd like for you to think of one person that you love. This person could be your spouse, it could be your child, it could be another family member, or even your best friend. Now that you have that person in mind, I'd like for you to imagine being alone in a room with them when suddenly they collapse to the floor and are in desperate need of life-saving care. As scary and dramatic as this scenario might seem, it's one that many people across the world experience each year, yet are rarely ever prepared for. According to the American Heart Association, over 400,000 Americans die from cardiac arrest each year, and most of these take place right at home. Absolutely no one is immune from cardiac arrest, including your loved ones. And in emergency situations like these, knowing CPR can be a matter of life and death. Research from the American Heart Association and the American Red Cross reveals that CPR has a powerful impact on a person's chances of survival. And because of this, absolutely everyone should learn how to perform CPR. Today, I'm going to discuss with you some mind-blowing facts about cardiac arrest in the United States, some common concerns people have about performing CPR, and ways that we can make a difference. Let's begin by exploring the facts. When people think of cardiac arrest, they are quick to imagine a hospital setting. But in fact, according to the American Heart Association, 350,000 cardiac arrests take place outside of the hospital each year, and a whopping 90% of these will result in death. Data from the American Red Cross also reveals that 70% of these cardiac arrests will happen right at home, meaning that if a loved one were to go into cardiac arrest, it could be your response that determines whether or not they live to see another day. In most cases, bystanders wait for EMS to arrive. But why? Why not act sooner? Well, most people hesitate to provide CPR because they're afraid of how effective their care will be. And while it's true that out-of-hospital survival rates are low, the American Red Cross states that bystander CPR can double or even triple the chances of survival. Some people are afraid of making mistakes because they aren't medical professionals. But what they don't understand is that CPR is incredibly simple and is designed for everyone. So even if your compressions are a little sloppy, imperfect CPR is still better than no CPR at all. Lastly, some people are afraid of hurting someone by performing CPR. And while it's true that ribs can break in the process, not performing, not performing CPR is too big of a risk. Remember that ribs can always heal, but cardiac arrest, if left untreated, can be permanent. So now that we understand how powerful CPR can be, what can we do to make a difference? How can we, as family members, neighbors, or friends, create a community where those around us are all ready and equipped to save a life at any given moment? It starts with becoming CPR certified. By taking a CPR class at your local community college or hospital, you can learn how to provide quality, life-saving chest compressions and rescue breaths to both children and adults. And in addition, you will gain the confidence to take action if needed. To make a difference, you can also advocate for CPR training at your local church or workplace so that others can be prepared as well. Lastly, if you notice someone in need of CPR, please don't wait. Call 911 and begin CPR immediately, even if you don't feel the most prepared. By acting quickly, you can save someone's life. So in summary, cardiac arrests are all too common, and most victims will die because they don't receive help right away. Fortunately, learning CPR is easy, and doing so can greatly reduce the number of cardiac-related deaths in your community. With this said, I highly urge you to consider taking a CPR course to encourage those around you to do the same. By doing so, you can save your life or the life of someone you love.